I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome back to Shelf 8 at the Dice Tower Libraries. We go all the way down to the bottom here. But just because it's the bottom doesn't mean there's not some great games. There are, although there's some games that aren't so fantastic. And that's the first one, Passing Through Petra. Man, I love the theming of this game. It's cool. Petra is one of my bucket lists of places I would like to see someday. And it has like a three-dimensional board you're pushing tiles through. It doesn't really mean that much. There's some nice ideas, but the game doesn't really gel that well. It's not even that popular, but it's fairly newish. So it's in the library for now, but I doubt it will be there forever. The next two, though, will be there for a while. That's the Voyages of Marco Polo and Marco Polo 2. They're kind of the same game. I mean, Marco Polo 2 is like 1.5. It adds a few new things. They're both excellent games. In Voyages of Marco Polo, you're trading around in the Far East, and you do so with a special power that seems way overpowered than everyone else has. In fact, you can switch the powers from 1 and 2 back and forth. 2 is the same way, but it's a little bit more forgiving, and I think I like it just a smidge better. Then we have Valparaíso here, which is not a game. It's just like, you want a game that is ye typical Euro game and doesn't do anything new. This is that one. I don't enjoy it, but a lot of people like DLP games, so it's in the library for now. Firenze, great game, building towers. I like this one a lot. It's really simple. It has that whole idea of take a card and get whatever the card says, or skip it by putting a tower piece on it. And after a while, some of the cards have a lot of tower pieces on it. When it says -3 victory points, but has 7 tower pieces on, what do? Good choices, really fun game. Next to it is the Masters of the Renaissance. It's the Lorenzo il Magnifico card game. It really has, the only thing it has to do with Lorenzo il Magnifico is essentially the theming, but it has this cool little marble tray where you pick a row or column of marbles, and those are the resources you get, and then you push one out. It's a neat idea. You have to see it. It's a simple, lighter game, but it's a lot of fun. The next 2 games aren't light at all, and I've played neither one of them, but I've heard good things about them. We have Antiquity, and then next to it, Indonesia. Antiquity is a very involved game from Splotter, which is also the same thing as saying a game from Splotter, because they're all like that. And of course, I'm going to put these in the library because I know people like Antiquity and Indonesia. I've heard good things about both of them. Patchistory, the next one's in the library because it's so unique. This is a pretty heady game too, as you're placing paper-thin tiles down, building your own civilization. You can put tiles on top of and underneath. It takes a bit of work to get into this game, but if you do, you'll find something that's unlike many other games. Then we have Raccoon Tycoon. Raccoon Tycoon, a great game. Stock market game, essentially, with animals in Victorian garb. But it's quick, it's fast, you take a couple actions, you move around, you're increasing the stock market, taking resources from the stock market, using those to buy different animals, or bid on animals, buy buildings, get special abilities. I really like this game. Then we have Last Will. Now, Last Will and the Prodigal Club are very similar, and for the life of me, I'm not sure why they're not dead next to each other on the shelves. We'll have to rectify that in the future. But Last Will, you're trying to lose all your money. That's all it is. It's basically Brewster's Millions, but it's a good, solid worker placement game. The next one is one of the holes in my collection in the sense that I have First Class, but I've never played it. I've heard there's some similarities to Railroad Tycoon. It's like Railroad Tycoon, I mean, not Railroad Tycoon, Russian Railroads, the card game. I love Russian Railroads, but I haven't played First Class. Someday I'm going to get that fixed, maybe at a future convention. Then we got Jamaica, the racing game. In fact, they just announced, as of me recording this video, a new version coming out that's going to be fairly similar, so it doesn't really matter. A lot of people like this one. It's paled a bit for me, just a bit, but what does it matter? It's such a simple, easy game to get into. Calimala. This is another game that I would put in the same dish as Valparaíso, where this is just kind of a Euro for the sake of being a Euro. Not one that I love, but I know a lot of people do enjoy it. But I do like the next one, Crown of Emara, a really thinky rondel game where you have 2 different pieces on 2 different rondels. You're playing cards to move them around, to collect resources, to turn them in, to get points in various ways. And yes, it's very much a Euro, but it's such a fascinating game. The very first Dice Tower Retreat, this was one of the hottest games there, and for a while I had 2 copies in the library. We're down to 1 copy, but it's still a very popular game. Man, there's a lot of good games in this shelf. Ah, man, I don't know which one's my favorite. It's down between the Marco Polo and Raccoon Tycoon. And then there's Firenze's a Wild Horse. Ah, I'll go Raccoon Tycoon. That's my favorite on this shelf. What's yours? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching another shelf in the Dice Tower Library.